If you have noticed your hair thinning, your brush feeling faster than it used to, or that once thick ponytail now feeling smaller in your hands, I want you to know you are not imagining it, and you are not alone. In fact, it's one of the most common frustrations I hear from women and men over 50. But the good news is you can turn it around far more easily than you think. Hi, I'm Dr. Mandell, and I am going to show you a simple nightly ritual that helps wake up sleeping hair follicles, strengthen fragile strands, and restore the natural fullness you thought you had lost for good. It doesn't involve expensive serums or harsh chemicals, just gentle, natural ingredients that cost less than a week's worth of coffee and can be done right before bed. Many of my friends, especially those from my wellness group, have followed the same evening routine. Within just a few short weeks, 8 out of 10 noticed their hair shedding less, their scalp feeling warmer and more alive, and that healthy sheen returning. Some even told me their hairdresser asked what they had changed. And here's the most surprising part. Most people start feeling a difference within the first 7 days. Not just in their hair, but in their energy and sleep. Because this ritual doesn't just feed your follicles, it calms your entire nervous system. I will tell you exactly what to do and why it works. So please stay with me until the end. What you learn tonight might just help you see a stronger, thicker head of hair and maybe a younger version of yourself staring back in the mirror again. Our hair is living tissue in disguise. We see it as strands, soft or wiry, gray or gold. But each one begins in a hidden little world beneath the skin, a living chamber called a follicle, surrounded by a web of tiny blood vessels, delicate nerves, and stem cells waiting for their signal to grow. Inside that quiet chamber, a microscopic miracle happens every second. Cells divide, push upward, and form the fibers we call hair. When we are young, this whole orchestra plays in perfect time. Hormones rise with the sun. Circulation hums freely through the scalp. Nutrients travel swiftly through clean, supple vessels. Every follicle receives its share of oxygen, minerals, and proteins. You brush your hair, it shines because the rhythm is right. The music of metabolism playing effortlessly in tune. But after 50, little changes begin to build up, barely noticeable at first. The body that once moved like a river begins to flow like a stream after a long summer. A little silt is collecting in the corners. Some call it aging. I prefer to call it neglected circulation. Because the orchestra hasn't broken, it's simply been left untuned. So let's look closer at what happens under the skin when that flow slows. You see, your scalp is a landscape of hundreds of thousands of microvessels, each only the width of a hair. These capillaries depend on constant motion, the gentle pulse of the heart, the rise and fall of breath, the tiny movements of the muscles in your face and neck. Over time, as tension settles in our shoulders, as posture changes, and as nightly rest becomes restless, those vessels begin to close off one by one. The soil dries out. The garden waits. At night, when the world grows quiet, your scalp should be alive with slow rhythmic waves of blood carrying oxygen, zinc, copper, and amino acids from your evening meal. This is the sacred hour when repair begins. Collagen is rebuilt, inflammation is soothed, and stem cells whisper their instructions to divide. It's the body's private workshop, restoring what the day has worn down. But modern life has stolen that rhythm. We eat late and heavy meals that draw blood toward digestion instead of repair. We stare into bright blue screens that trick our brains into thinking it's still daylight. We lie down tense, our minds buzzing, our shoulders tight, jaw clenched. Even in sleep, our neck and scalp muscles remain stiff, pressing on the tiny vessels that are supposed to feed each follicle. And when the blood slows, the follicles sleep, not dead, not gone, just waiting for a signal that safety and nourishment have returned. That's why the ritual I will show you is done at night. It's not a trick or a quick fix. It's a gentle invitation for the body to remember its own rhythm, to coax open those tired capillaries, to bring warmth back to forgotten places, to tell the follicles you may grow again. This is not magic. It's mercy, a way to return what time and tension have quietly taken away. And when you give your body that chance, it rarely disappoints you, because even after decades, your body still remembers how to heal. It's just been waiting for you to listen. And if you are ready to give it that chance, if you're excited to start this simple nightly ritual tonight, leave a comment below and tell me, I am ready. Sometimes just saying those words out loud, even typing them, is the first step toward real renewal. Before we move into the practical steps, which I will share with you shortly, I want you to understand just how powerful these small nightly changes can be. I have seen it with my own eyes time and again. At my retreat center, there was a gentle 72-year-old retired teacher. She used to laugh softly and call her hair my winter garden, thin, brittle, and sparse like soil that had lost its spring. She had tried supplements, expensive shampoos, even salon treatments, but nothing seemed to last. Together, we began the simple nightly ritual you will soon learn, 10 calm minutes before bed, using warmth, nourishment, and breath. Within 8 weeks, she noticed tiny new hairs, soft as down, appearing near her temples. By the 6th month, her hairdresser leaned over the chair and said, "Whatever you are doing, don't you dare stop." In that quiet, she restored something more than hair. She restored the conversation between her body and herself, a dialogue that had been silent for years. That's the gift of this ritual. It helps your body remember that it already knows how to heal. The real reasons hair thins after 50 aren't on the surface. They're within. When you understand the roots, literally, you stop chasing shampoos and serums that only touch the ends of the problem. As we age, circulation naturally slows. By 60, blood flow to the scalp can drop to half of what it was at 20, meaning far fewer nutrients reach each follicle. You can't grow roses in dry soil, and you can't grow strong hair without steady nourishment. Hormones shift as well. For women, the gentle support of estrogen fades after menopause, shortening the hair's growth phase. While in men, testosterone more easily converts to DHT, a compound that quietly shrinks follicles over time. Collagen and keratin, the body's own structural proteins, also decline, leaving hair weaker and the scalp less supple. And then there's stress, the invisible thief. Chronic tension raises cortisol, which tightens blood vessels and robs the follicles of both oxygen and nutrients. All of these factors work together beneath the skin, which is why topical fixes alone rarely bring lasting results. Real change begins where the problem lives, in the bloodstream, in the hormones, in the chemistry of calm. Nighttime is when the body turns inward to heal itself. Every organ, every cell follows the same quiet rhythm known as the circadian cycle, a built-in clock that governs rest, repair, and renewal. As daylight fades, cortisol, the stress hormone, naturally falls while growth hormone rises, prompting tissues to rebuild what the day has worn down. Your hair follicles are no exception. They too listen to this rhythm. When you give them the right environment before sleep, warmth to open the vessels, oxygen from slow breathing, nutrients circulating in the blood, and a calm nervous system, they shift gears from survival to repair. That's why this nightly ritual is so powerful. It doesn't fight your biology, it partners with it. The science behind hair repair is gentle, yet remarkably precise. When blood flows freely to the scalp, it carries with it the essential amino acids, glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline that form the backbone of collagen, the protein that gives your hair strength and structure. Alongside these travel minerals like zinc, copper, and iron, each one plays a vital role in building keratin. The substance that makes up the hair shaft itself. Calm, steady breathing before bed helps lower cortisol, the hormone that constricts blood vessels and disrupts growth. As cortisol falls, growth hormones quietly rise, signaling your follicles that it's time to rebuild. A touch of magnesium in the evening further helps by relaxing the muscles around the scalp and dilating the tiny vessels that feed it with oxygen. And then comes the most powerful medicine of all, deep restorative sleep. During these hours, stem cells in the hair bulb multiply, replacing what has been lost through stress or age. There's nothing mystical about this process. It's simply the body doing what it was designed to do once we restore its natural rhythm of nourishment, circulation, and rest. Think of your scalp as a living garden, a landscape of tiny roots hidden just beneath the surface. Each follicle is a seed with enormous potential, and the blood that flows through your vessels is the rain that feeds it. The nutrients you consume act as the rich minerals in the soil. And your nightly habits, whether calm or chaotic, become the weather that shapes its growth. If that garden is neglected, watered one day and forgotten the next, the soil hardens, the roots struggle to breathe. But when you tend it with regular gentle care, soft warmth, steady nourishment, and peaceful stillness, the soil loosens and life returns. The roots wake up thirsty but ready, and soon the first green shoots appear. That is exactly what this nightly ritual does. Each action touches a different layer of the problem. Warmth through slow massage opens the scalp's capillaries and allows blood to reach even the sleeping follicles. Nourishment through collagen, minerals, and hydration rebuilds the hair's very foundation from within. And calm through quiet breathing lowers stress hormones so the body can direct its energy toward healing instead of defense. When these three come together, warmth, nourishment, and calm, they work like sunlight, water, and soil in perfect harmony. The results don't just add up, they multiply. Few people realize that while the world grows still and dark, the scalp is at its busiest. Hair follicles are not idle while you sleep, they come alive. Around midnight, your body enters its deepest restorative phase, and those tiny cells at the root of each strand begin their peak work of protein synthesis. Growth hormone rises quietly like a tide, carrying with it the raw materials for repair. Collagen is rebuilt, damaged cells are replaced, and new keratin fibers begin to form. But here's the catch. Your body can only perform this work if you have prepared the soil beforehand. When you go to bed nourished, hydrated, and relaxed, blood flows easily to the scalp, bringing oxygen and nutrients right where they are needed. The follicles use this sacred window of time to rebuild and strengthen. Yet, if you end the day tense, inflamed from sugar or processed food, or lying awake under the blue light of a phone, the chemistry shifts. Blood flow tightens, cortisol rises, and the follicles, sensing stress, shut down their growth cycle. That's why this nightly ritual matters so much. It's not just about hair. It's about signaling safety to your body. Each gentle act from warmth to breathing tells your system we are safe now. We can rest. We can grow again. And when the body receives that message, healing begins not with effort, but with peace. Let's speak honestly for a moment, because truth is what sets realistic hope apart from false promises. If your scalp has been completely smooth and shiny for many years, it may mean the follicles there have gone permanently dormant. Nature has its limits, and we must respect them. But for the vast majority of seniors, those noticing thinning, a widening part, or finer strands, the story isn't over. Those roots are not dead. They are simply asleep, waiting for a signal that conditions are safe to grow again, and sleeping roots can be woken. I have seen it happen in hundreds of men and women who were convinced their time for renewal had passed. They didn't rely on expensive serums or complicated regimens, only a small, consistent nightly ritual that restored circulation, warmth, and calm. The transformation wasn't just on the scalp. It was in the eyes, the posture, the quiet confidence that returns when you realize your body still responds to care. The secret isn't complexity, it's constancy. A few minutes each night repeated faithfully can change the terrain of the scalp, awaken forgotten roots, and more importantly, remind you that aging is not decline. It's simply biology waiting for attention. Most people never suspect how much their neck and shoulders influence the health of their hair. Yet, these are the bridges that carry blood to the scalp. And when they tighten, that bridge narrows. Over the years, the small muscles at the base of the skull and along the shoulders become like stiff cords from hours of reading, sewing, knitting, or watching television with the head bent forward. This constant posture quietly compresses the arteries that deliver oxygen and nutrients to your follicles. The scalp, starved of circulation, grows cool and pale, a garden without rain. The good news is it doesn't take much to open those pathways again. Before bed, take a single minute to roll your shoulders slowly back and down, letting the chest lift. Then tilt your head gently from side to side, feeling the stretch along the sides of your neck. Breathe deeply as you do it. You will often feel warmth spread upward within seconds. That's blood flow returning to where it belongs. It may sound too simple, but I have seen hair begin to thicken and soften in texture from this one small act alone. When blood finally reaches the scalp again, the follicles wake as if hearing a long-lost melody. Sometimes all your body needs to heal is the space to breathe again. Before we move into the ritual itself, it's vital to understand that your hair is not created by what you put on your head, but by what you put into your body. Every strand that grows is built from your nutrition molecule by molecule. You simply can't out-massage or out-oil a poor diet. Each hair is about 95% keratin, a strong fibrous protein made from sulfurous amino acids such as cyan and methionine. These are the true architects of strength and shine. Your body also needs minerals like zinc and copper to activate the enzymes that form and cross-link keratin properly. Around each follicle sits a delicate base made of collagen, which gives your scalp flexibility and resilience. Without enough vitamin C, your body can't weave that collagen network, no matter how many supplements you take. That's why I always encourage seniors to treat food as their first medicine. A cup of bone broth or a scoop of collagen powder each day replenishes those lost amino acids. Fresh citrus or berries supply the vitamin C that stitches collagen together. A handful of nuts and seeds delivers zinc and copper, the spark plugs for follicle metabolism. An oily fish or a spoon of ground flaxseed provides omega-3 seconds that calm inflammation and keep scalp circulation smooth. When you nourish yourself this way, you are giving your nightly ritual something to work with, the raw building materials your body will deliver to each follicle while you sleep. Without these nutrients, there's nothing for your body to build with, and with them, every stroke of your nightly care becomes twice as effective. Hair loss is never only a physical experience, it touches something far deeper. For many people, it feels like watching a small part of their identity quietly fade away. I have met men who refused to appear in family photographs and women who stopped attending church or social gatherings because they felt embarrassed by their thinning hair. What they were really grieving wasn't vanity, it was visibility. Hair for so many represents youth, vitality, and confidence. When it starts to go, a piece of the self seems to go with it. If you've ever felt that same sting, that quiet loss of confidence or hesitation to be seen, share your experience in the comments. You are not alone, and your story might give someone else the courage to begin healing too. But when we begin this nightly ritual, something far more profound than hair growth often takes place. It's not just follicles that wake, it's self-rest. The simple act of taking 5 calm minutes each night to touch your scalp with care, to breathe deeply, to nourish yourself, sends your body a powerful message. You still deserve care. You are still worth tending. That message alone can be healing. Over time, people don't just see stronger hair, they carry themselves differently. Shoulders lift, eyes brighten, and there's a quiet confidence that returns. It's as if the body, after years of neglect, finally believes it is being listened to again. And that belief, that restoration of kindness toward oneself, can be as therapeutic as any vitamin, oil, or nutrient you could ever give. Before you begin, it's important to prepare not just your scalp, but your expectations. Real healing follows nature's pace, steady, patient, and honest. Hair doesn't grow overnight. It grows about 1 centimeter each month, quietly without fanfare. The first changes you will notice won't be dramatic or even visible at all. They will be subtle, almost secret. The first sign comes as a feeling rather than a sight. Your scalp begins to feel warmer, more alive beneath your fingertips. That gentle tingling means circulation has returned. Your roots are being fed again. Soon after, you will start to see fewer hairs in the brush or on the pillow. That's your body shifting out of the shedding phase and into protection mode. Then, as the weeks pass, look closely along the hairline or crown. You will find soft new growth, almost like baby fuzz, catching the light. This is the rhythm of repair inside out, never rushed. Each stage builds on the one before it. When you trust this process, you stop measuring progress by the mirror and start sensing it through vitality. The warmth of your scalp, the calmness of your evenings, and the quiet confidence that comes from knowing your body is responding to your care. That's when you will know real change has begun. To begin, you will need only a few simple things. Nothing fancy, nothing costly. A small bottle of rosemary and castor oil blended in equal parts with a single drop of lavender to calm both scalp and spirit. A wide tooth comb or simply your fingertips for gentle scalp stimulation, a mug and spoon for your nightly collagen magnesium drink, and a quiet space. Soft light, no screens, no noise, just a few moments of peace before bed. That's all it takes. No expensive gadgets, no harsh chemicals, no complicated steps. Just your hands, a few natural ingredients, and 10 mindful minutes that belong entirely to you. Now that you understand why hair thins with age, let's talk about what to do. A small nightly ritual that restores circulation, soothes the nervous system, and teaches your body to repair again while you sleep. And if you're still here with me, that tells me you're serious about healing. So go ahead and drop a like on this video because what you are about to learn next could truly be life-changing. Step 1, the warm oil massage. About an hour before bed, find a quiet, comfortable corner where you can be alone with your thoughts. Turn off the television, put your phone aside, and let the room soften into stillness. This is your time, a small pocket of peace to reconnect with your body. In a small bowl, mix 1 teaspoon of castor oil with 1 teaspoon of rosemary oil infused in a carrier such as jojoba or olive oil. These are humble ingredients, but together they hold generations of wisdom. If you enjoy gentle scents, Add a single drop of lavender. It doesn't just smell lovely. It signals the nervous system to exhale, easing you toward rest, even before your head touches the pillow. Warm the blend ever so slightly, never hot, just until it feels like sunlight resting on your skin. Then dip your fingertips in the oil. Press them lightly onto your scalp and begin small, slow circles. Start at the nape of your neck, where the main arteries rise to feed the scalp. From there, work gradually upward toward the crown. Then forward to your temples and across the hairline. Move with patience, not force. You are not rubbing or scrubbing, you are waking. Under your fingertips, something remarkable begins to happen. The warmth encourages the tiny capillaries beneath your skin to open. Rosemary increases nitric oxide, the compound that tells those vessels to widen. Castor oil, rich in resin and oleic acid, calms inflammation and nourishes the skin, softening the stiff fascia that tends to tighten with age. It's not magic. It's simple, beautiful biology in motion. As you continue, you may feel a mild tingling, almost like the prickle of soft rain on warm soil. That's circulation returning. Oxygen and nutrients rushing back to feed the roots that have been waiting for years. If your arms grow tired, pause. Rest them gently on your knees and breathe. The goal isn't pressure, it's presence. You are not performing a task, you are offering care. For most people, 2 to 3 minutes is enough. But if you find comfort in the rhythm, let it stretch to 5. There's no rush. The body responds best when it feels unhurried. When you finish, wrap your head loosely in a soft towel or cotton scarf. This holds in warmth and helps the oils penetrate deeply, continuing their quiet work while you prepare for the next step. You will notice, even before your hair changes, that something within you already has a sense of calm, of groundedness, of being in your body again. This moment of touch, of stillness, tells your biology you're safe now, and safety is where healing begins. If you would like to learn the next 2 steps of this nightly ritual, the ones that nourish your body from within and quiet your mind before sleep, type calm in the comments below. That one word lets me know you are ready to keep healing with me tonight. Step 2, the collagen night drink. While the oils are quietly nourishing your scalp from the outside, it's time to nourish your body from within, because real repair always happens in both directions. Find a moment of stillness, perhaps in your kitchen or by your bedside, and prepare what I like to call your evening restoration drink. In a mug of warm water or a soothing herbal tea such as chamomile, tulsi, or rooibos. Stir in 1 scoop about 10 grams of hydrazine collagen powder. This form is easily absorbed, meaning your body can use it almost immediately. Then add 1/4 teaspoon of magnesium citrate or glycinate, 2 of the most gentle bioavailable forms of magnesium. Finally, finish with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice, not just for flavor, but for its vitamin C, which acts like the stitching thread that helps your body weave collagen into strong, flexible tissue. Now, sit down, breathe deeply, and sip slowly. Feel the warmth moving down your throat and spreading through your chest, a gentle wave of comfort. As you drink, you are giving your body something profound, the raw materials it needs to rebuild itself. Collagen supplies the key amino acids, glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline that form the scaffolding of your skin, nails, and hair. These amino acids are like the quiet carpenters of the body, patching and reinforcing where time has thinned the walls. Meanwhile, magnesium steps in as the great relaxer. It softens the muscles that line your blood vessels, widening them just enough to improve the flow of oxygen and nutrients. It also speaks to your adrenal glands in a language they understand, peace. When magnesium rises, cortisol, the stress hormone, gently falls. And as cortisol falls, your pulse steadies, your breathing deepens, and your mind begins to unclench. You will find yourself slipping naturally towards sleep without the struggle or restlessness that so often comes with age. Lower cortisol and better circulation are gifts your follicles love because they mean one thing. Nourishment is finally reaching them again. Within a week or 2, most people notice small, delightful signs that the body is responding. Nails growing faster, skin feeling smoother, even a faint glow returning to the complexion. These are not coincidences. They are whispers from your body saying, thank you, we are restocking our reserves. And when those reserves are full, the scalp will be next. The same collagen that strengthens your skin becomes the foundation for your hair. Over time, strands grow thicker, more elastic, and more resistant to breakage. It's a slow unfolding, but one you can feel like the warmth of this drink itself. Gentle, steady, and deeply alive. So let each sip remind you, healing doesn't happen through haste, but through nourishment and kindness offered one quiet evening at a time. Step 3, the calming breath before sleep. Now comes the part that most people overlook, the quieting of the mind, because even the best oils and nutrients can only do so much if the body is still swimming in stress chemistry. The mind is the conductor of all your internal rhythms. When it rushes, the heart rushes. When it tightens, so do your blood vessels. And when it softens, healing follows. So before you sleep, give yourself permission to stop the day. Sit at the edge of your bed, feet flat against the floor, hands resting easily in your lap. Let the weight of the day begin to slide off your shoulders. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4. Feel the air expand your chest. Hold that breath gently for 2 beats. Then exhale through your mouth for a count of 6, releasing everything you no longer need. Do this rhythm for 3 minutes, maybe longer if it feels good. Each exhale sends a signal down your vagus nerve, the quiet thread that runs from your brain to your heart and digestive system, whispering, "We are safe." Once your body believes that message, something extraordinary happens. Cortisol begins to fall, blood pressure softens, and growth hormones rise. Those same hormones will travel through your bloodstream tonight right to the base of your follicles, where they will nudge the stem cells to wake and divide. This is why those who practice this simple breathing ritual each night notice more than thicker hair. They start sleeping more deeply, dreaming more vividly, waking with a steadier pulse and a clearer mind. It's a beautiful reminder that hair and rest have always grown together. When one heals, the other follows. And if you would like to take this ritual one step further, you can add a few gentle supports, not as rules, but as small acts of kindness toward yourself. Try resting your head on a silk pillowcase. The smooth fabric reduces friction, protecting delicate strands from breaking while you sleep. Keep a glass of water beside your bed. A small gesture that keeps blood fluid and nutrient rich, ensuring your scalp receives what it needs through the night. Before you lie down, take a moment to roll your shoulders back, lifting your chest as though welcoming more space into your lungs. Tilt your head gently side to side, stretching the neck and easing tension from the muscles that feed your scalp's arteries. You might feel a subtle warmth rise as circulation returns. That's the language of healing. None of these steps are mandatory, but together they weave a sense of quiet elegance through your evening. They turn a routine into a ritual, a tender dialogue between you and your body. Each small brushstroke of care tells your cells, I am still here with you. I still believe in your ability to grow. And that belief, practiced night after night, becomes its own medicine. During the first week, the changes are quiet but genuine, whispers of renewal rather than shouts of transformation. You might notice your scalp feeling just a little warmer beneath your fingertips, a pleasant tingling that lingers after your massage. That warmth is not your imagination. It's blood returning to places that have been undernourished for years. You may also find fewer hairs in your brush or on your pillow in the morning. Shedding begins to slow as the follicles, once stressed and starved, start to hold on again. Many people tell me they begin to sleep more deeply during this first stage, the nightly rhythm of care calming both body and mind. By the 3rd or 4th week, something new often appears. The tender beginnings of baby hairs along the temples or hairline, fine as silk, soft as down. These tiny strands are proof that your follicles have heard the message and begun to wake. They are nature's way of whispering, I am still here. I haven't forgotten how to grow. Around the 3-month mark, you will notice a shift in texture. Your hair feels stronger between your fingers, smoother and more elastic. The dull, brittle quality that once made it lifeless begins to fade. By the 6th month, most people can see and feel visible thickening, often a 40 to 50% improvement when they have been faithful to the process. That word consistent is everything. Healing does not respond to urgency. It responds to rhythm. You can miss a night here and there, but not the pattern. The body learns through repetition. Every time you warm the oil, breathe deeply and let go of the day's tension. You are teaching your biology what safety feels like again. And in safety, growth becomes not just possible, it becomes inevitable. Around 11 p.m., the body enters one of its most sacred hours, the hour of repair. Growth hormone and melatonin rise together like twin tides, flooding the body with renewal. Every cell in you, from your skin to your scalp, becomes a small workshop of restoration. If you have nourished yourself with collagen, warmed your scalp to open circulation, and quieted your nervous system before bed, your follicles now have everything they need. Oxygen to fuel them, amino acids to rebuild their structure, and calm, steady blood flow to carry it all where it's needed. It's a beautifully simple chain of events. Blood delivers oxygen, oxygen feeds the cells, amino acids knit together new keratin, and stem cells in the follicle divide to create new strands. But if even one link in that chain is missing, if your muscles are tight from tension, if cortisol remains high, if nutrition is lacking, the process slows or stops altogether. The nightly ritual exists to reconnect those links to restore the natural rhythm that time, stress, and modern living have fragmented. Night after night, you are not merely caring for your hair. You are teaching your biology to remember how to heal. You are saying, I trust the quiet pace of nature. And your body, faithful and wise, begins to trust you back. Still, it's human to want proof, to rush to the mirror each morning searching for something new. But healing doesn't bloom under watchful eyes. Hair, like all living things, grows according to nature's calendar, not ours. It begins slowly, almost secretly, like dawn light filtering through curtains. If you can, resist the urge to measure daily. Instead, give yourself 6 full months. That's one complete life cycle for a hair strand. If you would like to track progress, take a photo once a month. The change may surprise you. Those quiet days you thought nothing was happening will reveal their work in hindsight. And when someone, perhaps a well-meaning friend, tells you at your age it's impossible, just smile. Biology does not recognize birthdays. It does not count candles on a cake. It follows only one language, that of circulation, nourishment, and rest. Give it those faithfully, and it will always answer quietly, steadily, beautifully. However, if 6 months pass and you see little to no improvement, don't lose hope. It may simply mean the issue lies deeper, not in your scalp, but in your body's inner terrain. Sometimes the follicles are willing, but the soil they live in still needs tending. Conditions like low thyroid function, anemia, chronic inflammation, or certain medications can alter metabolism and blood flow, silently interfering with hair growth. Think of it as caring for a garden. You can water faithfully, but if the soil's pH is off or the nutrients are depleted, the roots still struggle to take hold. In such cases, it's wise to look within. A simple blood test or conversation with your healthcare provider can reveal what needs balancing: thyroid hormones, ferritin, vitamin D, or other factors. Correcting these is like enriching the soil, ensuring that when the roots receive water again, they thrive instead of merely surviving. And even if a medical factor is found, don't abandon your nightly ritual. These steps, the warmth, the breathing, the nourishment, are never wasted. They continue to improve circulation, ease stress, and deepen rest, creating a foundation of wellness that supports every other part of your healing journey. Many of my patients have told me that even when they began additional treatments, it was this nightly practice that made them feel alive again. So stay faithful to your rhythm. Healing rarely happens in a straight line. Some nights you may feel nothing at all. Other nights, a spark of warmth or peace will remind you that change is underway. Every act of care, every drop of oil, every mindful breath, they are all notes in the quiet song of recovery. And the body, ever listening, responds in time. So tonight, when the world finally quiets and the day releases its grip, don't rush to collapse into bed as if rest were another task to complete. Give yourself the grace of a pause, a few unhurried minutes that belong only to you. Dim the lights, let the room grow soft and still, and step gently into the quiet. Warm the oil between your palms until it feels like sunlight on your skin. Breathe deeply. Sip your collagen. Drink slowly, as though you are not just nourishing the body, but feeding something deeper, the tired spirit that so often forgets to be cared for. Then begin the simple act of touch. Fingers to scalp, slow circles, no urgency. You are not performing a chore. You are offering thanks. Each stroke is a way of saying, I still expect vitality from you. And the body, ever faithful, always listening, whispers back, then I haven't given up either. In those moments, something remarkable happens. The boundary between body and spirit blurs, and the care you give becomes the care you feel. The warmth spreads beyond the scalp. It moves through the heart. Night after night, this quiet conversation between your hands and your body begins to rebuild far more than hair. It rebuilds trust. Trust that your body still knows how to heal. Trust that aging doesn't mean fading. Trust that life still stirs beneath the surface. The act itself becomes a meditation, a sacred rhythm that reminds you that healing is never rushed. It's remembered, 6 months from now, you may glance in the mirror and notice not only thicker strands where the scalp once showed through, but something even more beautiful. A light returning to your eyes. It's the quiet confidence that comes when you have learned to care for yourself again. It's the spark that says, I am still growing. So be gentle with yourself, be steady even on the nights when you are tired. Healing doesn't demand perfection, only presence. The soft science of night has always known what to do to restore, to renew, and to remind you that it's never too late. Not for your hair, not for your health, not for your joy. The same hands that once carried the weight of your years can now carry the warmth of your healing. Thank you for spending this quiet time with me in a world so full of noise, rush, and empty promises of instant results. You chose to slow down and listen, and that tells me something truly beautiful about you. It means you haven't given up on your body. And that, dear friend, is where every real healing story begins. So if you are ready to keep growing, not just thicker hair, but deeper health and a calmer spirit, click that subscribe button and stay close. I promise there's more healing waiting for you here.